everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sienna. I'm a healer, counselor, coach, intuitive, oracle. Those are some of the hats that I wear. And today I'm going to be doing a reading on some of the current energies that are passing through, and I hope you enjoy it. So we've had some new codes coming in. For those of you aware, this will expand your knowledge on this, and for those of you who are maybe newer to this or unaware of these codes, you might realize that you've been feeling it once we get through this reading. Today is the 9/9 portal. Since around like the 7th, definitely been feeling some new energies, even ascension symptoms. That looks like maybe headaches. For me, I've had a rash around my mouth that I've been fighting. You might have had something similar to that. You know, the typical ones are fatigue, you know, just kind of feeling like low energy, and we're constantly going up and down on this ride that we call ascension. For those of you on a spiritual path, on the ascension journey, you know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, basically the earth is evolving, and because we are part of the earth, we are evolving with her. So that means that we're changing on a cellular level, and it can be difficult at times and it can be amazing at times. It's definitely a cool era to be alive in, but it's constantly shifting, and for what I'm feeling really is this like in between worlds, death and rebirth feeling. So in my last video I talked a little bit about some of you might be feeling like your old life is over. So if you feel like that, then this video will probably make sense for you. And we feel like whatever once was is no longer, but we also don't yet have like a clear grasp on what's the new is. So yeah, I guess I want to dive into that a little bit, and you know, just a little note about like the number 7, since these codes are being labeled in some communities as the 777 codes. 7 is the number of God perfection, essentially. So even though 9 is associated with September, once upon a time it was 7. So like even in the Latin, like sub meaning like September, Sep is a 7. So keep that in mind. And 2023 also is a 7 year. Adds up to 7, so 7, 7, 7. What else can I say about this? We can't really move forward into the new without the old being fully cleared out. And this is a little bit of a paradox because death and birth are so entwined, and it is a little bit complicated and doesn't really make sense to the rational mind in some ways, right? One door closes, another door inherently opens. So while that is true, and while we can't experience the birth of something new without experiencing the death of what came before it, in a symbolic sense, we also can't fully jump into new energy and a new existence, or a new, you know, I don't want to say belief system, but whatever it is for you, we can't fully be in that if we're still bringing old energy with us, and it's still in our DNA and it hasn't been cleansed out of us yet. So that is where a lot of these solar flares come in handy. And the solar flares, solar flashes have been quite intense the past few weeks. I mean, it's always on and off, but it's a huge part of ascension. This is something that's measurable scientists do measure this. It's basically the plasma and solar energy that's coming into the planet from the sun. So that's the scientific aspect of it, and the spiritual aspect of it is that this solar energy and plasma is essentially bringing so much high frequency light that it will purge things out of us and recode us and upgrade us. So this is a constant thing for the past few years, and that is where some of the headaches happen, or rashes, things like, you know, we're releasing the old. So just keep that in mind if you are experiencing any of these symptoms. And some of what the old is that this isn't just like a personal soul journey anymore, and it's not really even just like a collective journey anymore. Okay, we're being shown that this is something bigger than all of it, and that we are just participating in an experience that is occurring, and that we really are all part of the same thing. So if you're on a spiritual path, which you probably are if you're watching this video, and if you're new, then welcome. If you're just wondering what's going on, proud of you for getting this far. So if you're on a spiritual journey, then you probably know that it requires us to walk through our shadow. And this is a big misconception with spiritual awakening, especially in the New Age community, which I don't personally identify with, is that awakening is this, oh wow, like I'm seeing the light and blah 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 blah, and this is so nice, and wow, I'm free from all of this social, you know, conformity now, and it's not really what it is. Okay, awakening is a very painful experience, a very confusing experience, and a very destabilizing experience. So if you are, or if you have felt any of those things, rest assured this is part of it, and you are being courageous for walking through this, because essentially what it requires us to do is to walk through our shadow, and to walk through the shadow of the matrix, of the collective consciousness, and see all of the distortion for what it is. So for a lot of us, we've done this. And what's happening right now, from my understanding, is that now we have completed that, and we are at this like middle limbo point, and we are now entering into the next phase, which is the distortion of the light, not just the dark. So this is a dual matrix, and if there's distortion in the dark, then there's distortion in the light. So this is what we're going through right now, and that is the best way I can explain it at this time. I definitely want to dive into it with the cards a little bit more, but yeah, this is an ongoing journey. This is why we're here. This is why people have been awakened to do this for this planet, so that we can hold these codes and these frequencies, so that something different can emerge, right? We've been in this dark ages for thousands of years, and we're exiting, but we're not yet in this new golden era. I'm sure that's pretty obvious to people even that are not on a spiritual path, despite the fact that most people are not talking about this. But we are in a crisis. We are in an economic crisis. Of course, we can choose to have our own experience. We don't need to be in fear. We can still feel liberated. But in terms of like the waves and the tides of the times and how history has gone, this would be at the lower end, okay? There isn't like plenty of money. There isn't plenty of resources. There isn't plenty of opportunities. So what goes down will go up again, but we are definitely in a dip, and these things take a really long time. okay, to come out of. So this is a long process, and we're here for the ride, and along this ride we get to see our evolution if we care about that, and we're on an evolutionary path, which I'm sure most people who watch my content are on some level, or else you probably wouldn't be interested in this at all. So let's get on with it. If you've been feeling like you're coming back to what your higher purpose is, your higher self, what you're really meant to do, maybe being awakened again out of your own like distractions. I know that's been happening to me, where I kind of was dipping down into like a lower frequency, not in a bad way necessarily, just not my highest, not my highest frequency. Maybe a place that was more comfortable, or a place where I could escape, and I'm being reactivated so that I'm back on track. So this might be happening for you too. So first I just want to pull a couple of these energy cards. I pulled 3 cards in the pre-shuffle that were just tarot cards, and it was the 7 of Cups and the Ace of Swords and the Sun. So for me, that told me that there is a bit of confusion and multiple options, multiple routes we can go right now. We might be feeling this. There's a breakthrough, Ace of Swords, breaking through, piercing through, opening up something, an opening to go through to show the highest path. And then there's the Sun, which is happiness, illumination, right? Light. So I thought that was interesting, just to set the tone of the reading. So if you're feeling any of these things, and maybe you're feeling like you're on the verge of a breakthrough, or you need a breakthrough, just know that before the breakthrough is a breakdown. Okay. So I'm just gonna pull a couple of these, and we'll start there. Magician and the Mirror. Okay, I like that. Magician energy. Magician never runs out of options or tools, and the Magician creates what they need to create. Also, Virgo is ruled. Magician rules Virgo, which is the season we're in right now, which is an earth energy, an analytical energy that's really good at making plans. So it's I kind of feel that too, like what we're making the plan for the next thing. Healer of the Ages at the bottom of the deck. So I always like to view the card at the bottom of the deck as why these cards are coming out. So this is for the healers, artists, healers, moms, dads, counselors, therapists. Okay, so yeah, this is about getting in touch with your inner healer. And for those of you that are light workers, who have felt a little bit destabilized and malfunctioning this year, you're not alone. But it is time. We're going to be brought back to that. So why we're here. Strategy. Yeah, this is totally in line with what I was saying with the Virgo, making plans, strategizing. What's the move? What's the route? We see several options. Let's create the best pathway forward. Door to Spirit. Okay. Breakthrough to get back to spirit, maybe from the darkness. And the last card is Goddess of the Moon, which is interesting. It's another source of light, and this past full moon was really intense, and we're coming up on a new moon, which is a new start. So we are in between, like I was saying, kind of in this limbo feeling. This is all pretty self-explanatory and very clear to me. So this is about creating a strategy, and creating an opportunity, using our magic to create what we need to create, to get out of whatever place we're in that we're not happy with, or whatever is not working anymore, and creating a strategy so that we can really get back into our higher energy. So these codes are coming in to assist us in that process, and you might be feeling this, okay? And if you haven't realized, maybe by the time this reading's done, you'll kind of be like, oh yeah, maybe I have been being pulled back to that, like, you know, story I was writing, or this book, or this project I've kind of just decided to like abandon and just check out and watch TV instead, and you know, that sort of thing. Or maybe it's a career path change and you're being pulled towards something and you're like, actually, you know what, that's not really like authentic, it's not really in my highest alignment. So if you're here to be a healer and you know that, this is probably a breakthrough period and a wake-up call. And Spirit is calling you back. A ring ring. Okay, so what do I want to do? I want to maybe pull some tarot on each of these energies. So for the Magician card, okay, I don't normally pull these ones at the bottom, but okay. So we have Temperance and the Chariot. So, which is kind of an interesting energy, because one is saying like, slow down, be patient, and the other one's like, let's go. So, and that's sort of what, you know, the Magician in one hand is like holding this blue energy, like, and the other hand is like this fire. So he's like this, and it's also this like, you know, double sort of push and pull, this past, forward, this old world, new world, okay? And what we need to do is alchemize whatever this old stuff is and create the new. That's what the Magician does. They alchemize. So it's finding the magic in between being patient and letting the magic unfold, and but also like getting the fire under your ass and making some moves. So you'll know what that means for you. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles, which is another push and pull, juggling which one energy. So that's not a coincidence. All right, we have the Daughter of Cups, the Daughter of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. So here's another breakthrough opportunity energy. The sword kind of like this, the Ace of Swords pierces through the breakthrough, and the Ace of Wands is like, here's the opportunity, here is the project, here is the book, like here is the job, okay? It's an opportunity and it's fire energy. And the Daughter of Cups and the Daughter of Wands, these are page energies. So these are about learning some new things. This is about, you know, it's not in full development, right? Once we're on the other side, that would be more of like a full development energy. So we're kind of like, all right, yeah, let me like ease back into that. I'll just keep going with this, like, you know, writing a book analogy. Like, let me start like jotting some notes down, or brainstorming, or writing this outline. And let me just like start like practicing my skills again, right? So in a way, that's planning and strategizing. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna like fully jump in, but I'm gonna start to like call upon that energy. Even like me doing a reading, I haven't done like a reading in so long, like this, like a proper reading, and it's, you know, I'm kind of like, okay, I gotta like ease back into the energy of these cards and how I do this and how I deliver messages, because it's been a while. Okay, strategy. Let's see what's gonna come out for a strategy. I feel like this is a pretty self-explanatory energy. One card came out, and at the bottom of the deck we have the Three of Wands, which is expansion and entrepreneurship, and kind of like the second step after planning is you know, the enterprise, the expansion, like, okay, let's like actually take this like map and this plan we made and waiting patiently for it to come in, and let's like start to go for it. So that makes perfect sense. And then we have the Six of Swords. Cool, so strategy. The Six of Swords is about getting out of a dark place, is moving on from a darker past, from a hard situation, from rough waters. So we're strategizing so we can move into a new place. Let's move on, it's super clear. Door to Spirit. Let's pull on Door to Spirit. What else are we supposed to know about this energy, this portal back to creator, source energy, where we all come from and where we are all returning to, essentially, okay? This is the idea behind oneness. All right, Three of Pentacles, another 3, love it, very strong number. Wow, and we have this 3 of Wands, which was at the bottom of the deck for strategy. So this card wants to come out, and I would say this is taking steps back to your God self and to the oneness we come from sharing your light. The spiritual side of you, okay? Maybe it's even so literal as to say like you want to build a spiritual business. I know that's what I'm in the middle of doing, because I've tried a lot of other things. It's not easy to make a spiritual business in an authentic way that feels good. But at the end of the day, this is why I'm here, okay? I spent 3 hours editing a vlog and it completely wiped out. My computer died and nothing was saved. And I had to listen to that. It's like, is that why I'm supposed to be here, so people can see what my day looks like and see what food I'm eating and see what me and my partner are doing preparing for our baby? Or am I here to use my specific spiritual gifts as an oracle, as a seer, and to deliver messages? So that's why I'm here right now, is because I'm getting back to this. And I am going to, you know, collaborate with spirit. That's also what this energy says, is kind of like collaborate and create an enterprise with spirit and with your spirit self. Okay. So I'm not sure what that will mean for you. Let's pull on Goddess of the Moon. Ooh. I don't love the ones that like fly out. Okay. So yeah, this is about healing from emotional loss, sadness. Another daughter, another page. We have almost all of them that have shown their face. So that's a mental energy, the Daughter of Swords. So yeah, we're coming out of feeling depressed, feeling sad. This is what the energy is saying. Feeling like things have not gone our way. And the reality is, for a lot of starseeds, for a lot of light workers, that's what happened. And like the energies that have come in this year have been extremely destabilizing. There's a lot of people who have literally exited the planet because it gets so difficult to not, and in addition to just not being able to function very well, which those of us who are spiritually gifted and really feel these things and feel so much now after these awakenings, it's very difficult sometimes. So hang in there if you resonate with this. And if you've gone through sort of like an emotional dark period, it's ending, okay? This is what this solar energy and these codes, this 777, it's God's perfection, okay? We are being reattuned to be the vision and the perfection of how God sees humans. Because not everyone, in fact, the majority, are not going to get there. Let's be serious about that. So for those of us who do have a chance and who haven't committed suicide yet and are still here, we're being asked to return. and to strategize and to not give up. 4 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. So yeah, this is more healing from loss. Healing from an emotional experience that did not serve, that was not working. The moon is also about emotions and darkness, so I'm not confused that these 2 cards are coming up. You see the black in them, right? And this card is about healing after a heartbreak. So all of this makes perfect sense, especially after the 6 of Swords. So we're moving out of that energy. And the Daughter of Swords is like a mental energy. It could also slightly suggest, I don't know, if you're on a twin flame journey, it could suggest like they're keeping an eye on you, or, you know, but that's all it is, okay? There's no more engagement, and we're moving out of it, okay? We're using the light of the moon to help us navigate our way out of the darkness. Let me see if there's anything else coming to me. Okay, the water. There's water. This is more, that's what I'm seeing immediately when I look at this card. That's just more emotional energy. So, yeah, heart chakra, that's coming to me too. So we're healing our heart chakra so that we can really, 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 really operate from here instead of here, okay? I think that's really like what this is about. And to not be so like mentally consumed with, I'm sad, I've lost this, my life has ended, what I knew is no longer here. Which, as a human experience, we're gonna go through the mental feelings of loss and regret and sadness. But we also get to move out of it, and that's really beautiful. All right, let's pull on who's assisting us in this journey as we enter the next phase, as we return back to light. Despite the distortion we may see in it, we're here, okay? These are, if you're watching my channel, you probably are a warrior of light, to be honest with you. But that said, all are welcome. And you know what? It feels really good to return to tapping into spirit, to returning to delivering messages to help other people. It's gonna help people more than my vlogs are. They just are. It just, you know, it just is. I'm not just here to be an entertainer. I went through a long journey as a musician and actress and modeling and like the whole thing to like entertain the world, and it didn't work out because it's not really meant for me. I love singing, but it's a very different thing than, you know, just being in the industry to be in the industry. If my voice ends up healing people and getting out there and it happens to entertain people, great. But that's a different route than the one that I was on before. Before my spiritual awakenings, before the darkness, before the grief, and before I've re-entered, re-emerged, and found the light. All right, divine healing is why we're here. Again, more healing energy. Not surprised. We're healing, fam. Okay, it's been a rough ride. 2023 has not been that easy, especially since I would say about March. Okay. Life Force. Actually, let me start with, yeah, that one came out first. Life Force. Express your driving passion. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. Ooh, we love it. So again, we have like more green, which is heart chakra. And so we're being asked to express our driving passion. Is that the book? Is that the project we abandoned? Is that the path that we actually want to be on? That we got a little jumbled and confused about? That's coming from source, okay? And sexuality is a very, very, very potent life force energy. When it's distorted, we see porn, we see this, that, da-da-da, okay? But when it's not distorted, it's a very sacred and a very powerful energy. So utilize it. And also the the sexual energy that rises, the kundalini that rises, it comes out of the throat chakra. So the sex chakra and the throat chakra are the only two that are directly connected. So it's about using that energy, cultivating it. You know, don't have sex every day maybe. Like if you're really working on something creative, like harness that energy, especially if you're a man and you know, release it, okay? The female is more about like receiving. Still can be draining, you know, if we're the receptacle all the time and we just never have space for it. You get what I'm saying? But if it's used appropriately and moderately, temperance, then it can be a really powerful tool that the magician can utilize to alchemize some of this. Okay, that doesn't mean go to a bar and like bang a bunch of strangers, okay? This means if you have somebody that you care about, even if you're not with them, and you feel like you want to be intimate, if you want to like, you know, have a trusting partner to do this with, to sort of create some fiery energy, go for it. It's the god Cernunnos is here to guide us, and that's what they represent. Okay, next we have experiencing grace, Paul the Venetian. Share your gifts with grace. Here we go again. Express your passion, share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. So waves of inspiration and love, also solar energy and codes incoming. Okay. Having us rise to a place where we are like, oh yeah, I should share this. Yeah, no, this is why I'm here. I should be back on track doing this. Also, we have more green, so we love that. There is light after the darkness. And then we have a woman with roses on her head by the name of Charity. Prayer and contemplation. Connect with heaven. Ask and you shall receive. Okay. Again, door to spirit. Connect with spirit. Connect with the heavens. Utilize prayer. That's another tool the magician can utilize. You know, if you're confused, if you're stuck, if you're scared by not knowing like exactly what's ahead, if you're exhausted, if you need a miracle, tap in and ask for it, okay? Tap in and talk to spirit, okay? It's not just about praying when you need something, but it is good to express that you are willing to share your gifts in exchange for some illumination, for some uplifting energy, for love, compassion. You know, maybe you're in need right now. Believe that somebody is going to provide. Believe that something's going to come in for you. This isn't about, oh, you know, I need charity right now. That's not what it's about. But this is a very hard time economically. If you are on a spiritual path and you've chosen that above making a bunch of money, then honor yourself and believe that you will be given what you need to get out of this place, to have what you need to survive, to be provided for, okay? And also what I'm getting is like the rose energy. If you connect with Mary Magdalene at all, and you know, the rose and the magic of the rose and the sisters of the rose, tap into that, send signals out, pray to that. She's also like seriously connected to this like sexual energy. Utilize it, believe in it, okay? Own your passion. Are you like a beautiful goddess? Great. Share that with the world, okay? Kings and queens rise, like we are here. Maybe we took a little time out, but we're coming back. And we are connected with the heavens, okay? Heaven is a place within us. We're gonna create that again. We're done walking through the hell. And for many people, they are still going to be walking through the hell. So be one of the leaders, the healer, the guides. Help others and you shall receive, okay? The meek shall inherit the earth. I feel pretty complete in these guidance readings, in the guides coming through. So I'm just gonna pull, what are these element cards? Conscious spirit. Okay. Let's just pull a couple of these. This is just a couple last messages from Spirit about what what we need to do, what we can do right now. Bottom of the deck is embrace change. Ding, 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 ding. I forgot to do that to clear the energy. I'm doing it now. I move easily and confidently through the changes in my life. We're in a change. We're in an upheaval. We're in a shift. This is what life is. If we embrace it, we'll have a much easier time. Much easier time. This is a blue color, okay? Throat chakra, maybe talk about it, okay? Talk about it with your friends. Hey, are you going through some changes? Are you going through a hard time right now? Communicate. It might help. It might help. The healer. I am loving and compassionate and able to bring healing to others. Okay, so this is exactly what we're talking about. Okay? It's pretty self-explanatory. This is a very clear message. Healers, come back to Spirit. Healers, you are here to help people. I'm talking to myself too right now, okay? I'm talking to myself as well. And believe in your ability to do that, okay? Transformation. I journey within to meet my higher self and to find happiness. All right, here we go. Retreat to the inner cave. I talked about this in my last reading, the last video I posted. How important this is for artists and healers to navigate, we're brave to go through this place. This is not something that everybody does. And it's not something that everybody has even an interest in doing. So for those of you who are on an evolutionary path, are a seeker, and are able to navigate the dark, know that there's transformation that lies within that crystal cavern. There really is. And through that we can emerge out when we exit the cave. This is another Magdalene and Yeshua reference. We're in another form. This is what healers do. This is also what artists do. They do them in different capacities. We're all individuals here despite our oneness. We have different expressions, but really those things are ending. And we're all kind of coming back to, okay, yeah, we're here to help each other. Okay, we're here to help each other because stuff is hard sometimes. And it's much easier if we drop our own personal narratives and we just show up for other people and show compassion and deposit healing energy into the world, in addition to into ourselves. And it comes from your heart space, okay? It's not gonna come from here. This is great for strategizing and planning, but then after that we need to drop down into the heart. So embrace change, transformation, and use your healing gifts. This is what these DNA upgrades and codes are about. This is what Spirit and God wants for us. This is getting closer to the perfection of God. Thank you for listening. Again, I'm Sienna. If you are ever interested in a reading or a session or anything like that, you can get all my information on my website, which is in my bio here on YouTube. And yeah, I work by the gift, so it's very flexible, and I'm proud to be able to operate based on this economic exchange. Okay, so more about that on my website, and I'm wishing you guys all the best. And I'm very happy to be here. I'm very grateful to have my own personal upgrade, which is for you, essentially. Blessings.